So you'll see here that there's a dot, and you want to line up the dot that's stamped on the sprocket and put that in the same position. Now we're going to work on this pull right here. So you grab this spring and the hook part. Now I think one side is slightly longer than the other one, and you want it to go in the gap at the back of onto that plate. So it's going to go through, and it needs to hook behind, kind of. So it'll be like this, and it's hooked there at the back. So now I'm going to grab the pull, and we're going to put it in that position. Put it onto the pivot, and you want that other tip of that spring to kind of hook behind it. Okay, I've got it. And you want that to be level with the sprocket, so like this. I'm now going to take off that screw because we're going to put the plate, and this is going to be in the way. Last painful part to do, we're going to grab the plate now with the riveted lever arm. So the small little pivot here is going to go into that hole right there, the end of my thumb. The main one is going to go well, like this, going through this hole, and you'll know that you're in the right place because there's that part here where you're screwing in the barrel adjuster towards this side right there. At the same time, you'll see here there's this part that's bent downwards. You're going to want that pull to be just in front of it, like this. So you're going to need to pull this back while you're doing this all at the same time. It's pretty annoying. That one. I'm holding that down. So let's pull back this pull towards there while I'm doing this. Push downwards. You can now let go. So you'll see there that I've moved the pull in front of the stopper. You have to really push this down to be able to get to a little slit there for that, to put the circlets back on. Alright, that's done, and we can now let go. Let's grab the cover and put it back into place. And you can pretty much screw down all of these little screws here that's holding the plastic cover and the mechanism in place as well. You can now put this tiny washer, the silver one, first. Take this plate now and you'll see it's stamped right. So the tip that's bent downwards, you're going to want it to fit through this hole here. And while you're putting that down, you want to aim for also the putting it through the bolt as well at the same time, like so. And you want to lay it roughly like this. Next, there's a bushing. That shorter part is going to go sitting in between that part that we just put in. So you need to shimmy that around until it goes into place. Alright, that's flat. And on top of that again, there's another copper coloured washer. Grab the lever now where we're going to install that pull. So you're going to have this spring. The longer tip of that spring is going to just kind of sit underneath here like so. And then we're going to have the pull. So you'll see on the pull itself, there's that bit that's sticking out around about here. that's facing upwards. Put that down, and that's as you can see. And then take the circlip, and we're going to install that back on. The next part's also perplexing. I would suggest undoing the screws again on this cover to get a little bit of access underneath. We're about to put the return spring and the lever back in. So this part of the return spring, that hook, is eventually going to go right here, hooked up on that part. And the other tip is going to go on the inner side here, is going to go inside the hole of the lever arm right here. Now we're going to install this also at the same time. You're going to need to recline this pull back, and you need to sit it towards here where there's those teeth on that on the sprocket. So a little bit hard to do because I can't tension the spring at the same time while getting the pull in. Right, removed. This part was painful. I've spent a good hour figuring out how to do this. I figured it out. As for the lever and the pull, that is going to fit towards here where there's those teeth this way. Now the part that's actually difficult is getting the return spring in the right position once this is laid down. I found out how to do that. So the best thing that I found out to do for this is to put this spring roughly in the right position so it lands into the hole, not the hook part. And then you're going to need to recline that pull and pull this back so you can insert it into that part here. So I'm going to do that. Right. Now, while you're putting that back, try and aim for that tip of that spring to fall into the hole. It's going to make it a lot easier. I've just done it. Yeah. Right, now that it's fallen into the tip of the hole, you can put everything down, hold it in place. Now grab this stopper plate, don't put it in the proper position though, just put it in a position like this for now. And now we're going to grab the nut, screw it down. Doesn't need to be super tight, just so it's holding everything. And this is on purpose so that we can get the spring into the right position. So now that I've done that, the reason I've done this is to keep the spring flat enough to work on. Now that you've done that, we need to grab some sort of tool that's going to allow you to hold on to the spring, and then we're going to pull it all the way back up to here. Okay, looks like I've got that in the right place. I just want to stress the importance of that return spring being flat underneath here. If it's not flat, none of this will be seated correctly. So now what I'm going to do is remove this bolt and this plate here. We're going to make sure that's holding down while we do that, and then we're going to install this basically in the right position. So make sure that there's still that copper wash underneath. And we're now going to position this plate in the right place. So you'll see here that gap needs to go like this, holding in place there. And now we can put that nut down. Now hopefully we can put back this cover. I think we can. If we pull this back, and it should snuggle through somehow. Yeah, so you just need to pull these two levers backwards and then it fits through. And now I'm going to tighten down all those screws. You'll see here that the hole for the dial is still in the right position as well. We can now put that cover back on. The barrel adjuster. I'm going to add a tiny bit of Loctite on this. It just seems weird that there isn't any. Make sure not to over tighten this, otherwise the levers won't click properly. Like this, it's stuck. Don't forget to pry those back down again. So you're going to need to use well, some pliers. That's a better tool. You can now put the cover back on. Jesus, that was yeah. Okay, so yeah, that was really painful to work on, but it's succeeded in the end. So I hope this helped you repair your SLX M670 shifter. Thank you for listening, and until next time, peace out.